Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world today. Thanks for watching and welcome to Stocks on Sunday. Stocks on Sunday. And the title of today's show is This Hasn't Happened in 35 years. What we've just seen just a few days ago, we haven't seen before in 35 years. We're about to find out that and a whole bunch more. But before we do that, smash the likes button. That does help get this channel out to more people. And of course, it does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read them and to respond. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Smash that subscribe button. You'll get all the updates. So what is it? Drum roll. There it is. It's all the doomers and gloomers that said it would be wrecked. But this was the best May for stocks in 35 years. Congrats to all those who ignored the noise. And I was one of them. I was one of them because I was telling everybody, this is where I was buying, down here. And I shared, even back then when it was happening, if we look at our stocks trades here, there it was, the beautiful, where is it? The S&P 500. I bought that dip, and I bought a lot of dips on a lot of stocks, and I gave all of those trades here on the Stocks on Sunday show, as well as in the Discord there. And so what are we seeing at the moment? Well, first of all, we're seeing how amazing the Tribal Trades Indicator is, the new Tribal Trades Indicator. It's called Tribal Trades Signals, one indicator to rule them all. And it has absolutely printed a masterclass of an entry here. Now, we don't have an exit on the weekly as yet, so we don't see that as yet. So I'm not selling my weekly time frame portfolio there at the moment. Let me just give you a quick TA on the SPY, and then we're going to talk about a stocks trading strategy for using ETFs. I think that you're going to really love, and I found to be very successful. But first of all, let's have a bit of a look. The thing on the SPY is we could see a little bit of a cooling off. So there's a couple of things that can happen. One is a possible bull flag here on the weekly time frame to send us to new all-time highs. That's obviously one scenario. The scenario that I most favor is a little bit of a pullback. We've already seen it pull back to the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at around 276. But there are other levels below. We could go as low as 571, which is the 50-week moving average, and the 20 EMA on the weekly time frame, and then possibly even down to these levels here, the 50-day moving average sitting a little bit lower at 558 at the moment, although that is constantly rising. There is a Fibonacci there at 561. So I'm not ruling out a higher low, should I say, a higher low. That would be quite bullish for me if we could have a bit of a pullback, create a bit of a higher low. Look, we could even come down to these levels down here. I'm not really that fearful if we were to see, with all the tariff noise that is going on, the steels. The imported steel has been slapped with a 50% tariff instead of 25%. Europe is mad. It'll be interesting to see how the markets open on Monday there. But even if we were to pull back to these much lower levels in here, this 531, that would only be a 10% drop down from where we are at the moment. So I could see that as still being very bullish. Now, I'm not saying it would go that far, but I am just saying that, and of course, I wouldn't be selling until I see a Tribal Trades Indicator fire off for me. That would signal a momentum change on the weekly to flip bearish. And so we haven't seen that yet. So that would give us another opportunity to buy on a pullback before a leg up come and test that make a new all-time high, should I say. So those are the two things that I possibly see there. A little bit of a bull flag or dropping down. And of course, we could just go straight up from here, of course. I wouldn't like to see that. I would like to see a little bit of either consolidation in a bull flag or a little bit of a pullback to see a little bit of a higher low. So I am leaning towards a pullback for a higher low there, and I will be looking, and I will update in the Discord if I do take profit and close my weekly time frame position, and then I would be looking to get back into a pullback right there. And of course, on the daily time frame, we did already see that. We see that the daily time frame gave us an unbelievable entry down here around a little bit higher than the weekly time frame there, and then obviously that rocket shipped all the way up. We've got a beautiful sell signal there, and then a new buy signal, and we just recently had a sell on the daily time frame there. And so we'll see obviously how the market opens. Now, what I see on the daily, which does lead me to where possibly a little bit of a pullback is more the favored scenario right now, is that we do have a little bit of a lower high there. You can see a high and then a lower high there. And then if we were to that's why I'm saying, well, we could come down and not quite get to that 200. We could come down and get to that 20 here at around 580. However, if we were to go below that, we would be making a lower low there. And then it would be interesting to see if we would come back and make a lower high, and then there would be a downtrend on the daily time frame, and that may lead us back to the 50-day moving average. Of course, at some point, I do believe there is going to be a golden cross where the 50-day does cross back above the 200-day moving average, and that would be very bullish, but we would need to see price stay above this level here for this to pivot to the upside there, to see that golden cross take place. Now let's talk about the ETF strategy that I've really been liking and trading it on the hour time frame. So I'm going to jump to the hour time frame, and I can show you how great this strategy has been for getting in and out on the same day. So for example, the tribal trades indicator, which by the way, it's a paid indicator, so it's not free. And how do you get it? I get asked, is by joining the Tribal Trades Discord. It comes with the Discord membership. There is a link below in the description of this video. You just need to click the more button. It will pop out, and right at the top of the description is a link to give you access to the Tribal Trades Discord, where you will gain access to this indicator and a whole bunch more, tons of channels and content in there, education, resources, trade setups, trade signals, you name it, wins section. I mean, you can see all the wonderful channels that we have here. There's the Global Trades Indicator. We have live sessions every week, 2 to 3 times every week. You can live trade and have live educational sessions with me. And of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And I do love seeing the wins column here. I love this comment from Aaron. Just paid for a year of the Tribal Trades membership just in one trade right now, right there, going short. Because we teach not just buying dips and selling the pumps. We also teach that when there is dips, you can make money on the way down and go short and make money when the market goes down and also when the market goes up with leverage trading. So there, love the wins column there. And so, yeah, so there you go with the Tribal Trades Discord there, just a quick sneak peek. And so what I'm seeing here is if you look here, it gave a beautiful signal on this candle here at about 143. And we got a sell signal, or, well, they're not really buy and sell signals. I'll always say buy and sell because that's where I'm buying and selling. They're just bullish and bearish reversals. So we see a bullish reversal on the momentum indicators here, and then we saw a bearish reversal up a little higher at about 146, 145. So that would have been a nice little trade there, quite good. But then we come back down and we get a re-entry again at 143, and we see another bullish reversal. Well, this one takes us up all the way to 152 before we get a bearish reversal signal there, and it continues to play out, and then it plays out down there, of course. And so you can see how these moves, 2 beautiful moves there, just within the space of a couple of days, one move there, and then most recently on Friday, we had a nice move there, fired off a bullish reversal there around that 147, 148, and that moved all the way up to 152, 151, where it is right now. So this is the SPY ETF. So this is not the actual SPY, but it is a 3x of the SPY. It's an ETF, and you can trade this. You can use it just by trading at spot. You can trade it with options there as well. And so you can see how well this indicator has done and how well it has played out. You can see another nice move over here, just in the same day. And I'll just open this trade and close it on the same day there. You can see opening up there at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, getting it at about 149, and then getting out at about 153 about 5 hours later. So this is what this is designed for. So the indicator is for all time frames. I've shown you how good it was on the weekly time frame here, also on the daily time frame, and now on the hour. So on the weekly time frame, usually those trades happen about once a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 1.5 months, but they don't happen very often. If you actually look on the weekly time frame here, you could obviously trade the ETF on the weekly, but you can see how buy signal was here in early April, and it took it's been open now for 7 weeks. This trade has been going for. So you can see sometimes how long it takes. And when the sell signal was back in February, you can see it took many months for it to come all the way to the bottom there. Actually, let's actually look at the SPY. You can see how long it took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks later before the buy was. And here's the deal. I sold all of my stocks up here. I was very public about how I was getting out of everything here, except for Tesla. I kept my Tesla. I took profits on it and kept the rest, and then sold everything else. Everything else was gone. And I was fully in, well, not fully in cash, but mostly in cash, because I still had my Tesla. And 9 weeks later, I was able to buy everything back for much lower here. And of course, now in considerable profits. So it's just a matter of now seeing, how this plays out and whether we get a signal there. So that was 9 weeks. So far, it's been 7 weeks. So if you're a long-term investor, your strategy is fully in play in the Discord, and we're following the strategy. And so if you don't have time to be getting in and out of trades, you just want to know when to buy and when to sell, then this strategy can help you out. And then of course on the daily strategy, as you can see here, from the bottom down here, there was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days before there was the sell signal on the daily time frame there. So I usually find the daily time frame, the trades last usually for about 7 days there. And you can see this one here, the sell signal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got a buy signal 1, 2, 3, and then another sell signal there on the daily time frame. But you can see how accurate this is, getting you in the bottom, getting you out in profit, getting you in over here on the 13th of March, and then getting you out in profit over here on the 27th of March. This one lasted a little bit longer there. And that's why I do like the weekly time frame, the daily time frame portfolio. I have the 3 portfolios when I'm trading stocks. And so that way I can hold the same stock in 3 separate exchanges or portfolios or brokerages. In the case of trading the ETF, when you trade the SPY and when you trade the ETF, they can be traded both in the same brokerage, by the way, of course, because the ETF is a different ticker. That's why I'm able to hold the SPY and the SPXL there. Okay, so that's how that would work. And in theory, not every stock has an ETF, so I'm very choosy about which ones I choose to use on the hour time frame. NVIDIA was one of those. That was a really great trade here, as you can see, not in NVDU, which is the 2x, so it's a leveraged 2x. And you can see how well that trade, I gave the trade in the Tribal Trades Discord there. Let's go where we are in stocks plays here. I gave that trade there. There you go, $75 with a target of 80 to 82 there. And then if we go back to here, you can see how that beautifully played out, $75 all the way up, hit that target of 80 to 82. In fact, it went all the way up to 83, gave the beautiful sell signal there, while the bearish reversal signal there. And then really we've got a new buy signal down here, all the way down at around 72. And that would have worked out great to get back in again. So you can just see how accurate this is and how good that has been. So this is for if you're someone who likes taking trades on the day and you can trade it for the day. Usually I don't hold it more than 2 days. I try and sell it the same day, sometimes the next day. On the odd occasion, maybe 3 days, but would be very unusual. And so that's how that would work. And of course, you can trade it to the downside. So when we hit here and when we get this bearish reversal, you can open up a put down, or you can just open up a short in your stock exchange. Or of course, you can buy a leverage ETF short. You can go short as well with the leverage short ETF also. So that's how I'm set up, and this is where I'm finding success with trading stocks. And I take the same approach to crypto, but of course this is a stock show, so we're just focusing on stocks here. And so you can see just trading the 3 different time frames, finding success, getting the right entries and getting the right exits using the tribal trades indicator there, how I've been able to navigate that and just get fantastic entries and just stack up win after win after win. So the other ETFs that I'm loving is obviously the Coinbase long, which is CONL. Really been finding great success with that one. HIMS, which is HIMZ, which is the 2x long of the HIMS, HIMS, not to be confused. Robinhood, which the ETF is ROBN, that's a 2x ETF there. Love that one. I've already shared the NVDU on the NVIDIA. The other one that I've loved is the Palantir, PLTU, which is the ETF there. And then the other one that I trade is the TSLL, which is the Tesla long. And so those are the ones that I've mostly focused on. Of course, TSMX, which is the Taiwan Semiconductor, their ETF, they have a 2x ETF as well. And I also had previously traded MSTX, which is the long. And of course, you've got Facebook long there as well, which is the Meta ETF also. So that trading strategy, I feel, has really worked out and brought great returns. So if you would like to follow along with the strategy, you can join me in the Tribal Trades Discord there, and I break it down there on a daily basis and give trades and signals in there as well. And there's a new stock that I'm looking to trade Monday, and so I'm going to be looking at the charts on that one, and if I see a great setup on that stock, I'm going to be sharing that in the Discord on Monday for all the Tribal Trades Discord members. All right, well, that is all we have time for today. I appreciate you all tuning in as always. And until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.